can only imagine the cost of some of these monuments. Today's adventure takes me to All Saints Cemetery in Des Plaines, Illinois. This is a vast cemetery. It has over 130,000 graves here. The tombstones are magnificent. Today, I do want to take you on a little journey. Since baseball season had just started, a very famous sportscaster, a Hall of Fame sportscaster that we all probably know, his name's Kerry. He's buried in a cemetery. We're going to go check out his grave, and I'll give you a little background on him. And Ringling, the son of one of the original Ringling brothers, is buried in the cemetery in a mausoleum here, who was actually president of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and an opera singer. Go figure. I'll show you his mausoleum, and we'll take a little walk around this cemetery and show you some of these fantastic monuments. So come join me as we explore All Saints Cemetery. Okay guys, this is a Catholic cemetery, so we are going to see a lot of crosses, a lot of statues of Jesus. Here is one here, I believe to be Jesus, sitting, looks to be mourning, with his hands folded. This is for Love Lady, Kusera, and Trueback. And I believe their monuments are here. Julia Kusera, 1953. Joseph Kusera, 1974. Elaine Lovelady, 2013. I believe that's a 3. Yep. And William Lovelady, 1996. But that's a beautiful monument. Windy day today. Breeze is picking up. A couple more monuments I saw down here. I mean, there's tons of monuments. I'm trying to find some that there's a lot of crosses, a lot of really nice monuments in this cemetery. Here's one here. Another statue. Another one with Jesus. The Sacred Heart. This is the Costello family, Gagliardi family, and the O'Connell family. And we see them all here. Beautiful monument. And heck, while we are on a Jesus run, let's continue. Why not? Nolte is the name. Another statue of Jesus. This is to Glenn, 1929 to 2000. Married November 7th, 1959, as it's see there. Then we have baby Kyle, 1991. I'm guessing that would be his grandchild. And there's nothing else on here, I don't think. Oh, here we have Carol. Oh, Carol's still alive. So Carol Nolte, 1940. She'll be here next to Glenn. And then young Kyle is right there, their grandson. Another look at this cemetery. Vast cemetery. Again, I get a little lost in cemeteries like this, so a little overwhelmed, if you will, as we just continue general walk here. This isn't part of the tombstone, but somebody had placed a statue here. Fortunately, the young man's legs or feet are broken. Then we have one over here that is new, yet to have a marker. But this is a newer burial right next to the tree with the orange paint. Okay, we have mausoleum time. Some mausoleums here. This one is Raftus Bowler Shea. Very nice mausoleum. I don't think we can see in, really. A little bit, maybe. Not really. All right. Then we have a smaller one here, very nice, Martinez or Martinez. To my left, it says Henry family mausoleum. This next mausoleum that we come upon says Ringling above the door. And most people, when they see Ringling, think of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. And you would not be wrong. This is the mausoleum of Robert Ringling, who actually was an opera singer, but he was the president of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. He was the son of the founder, Charles Ringling. And if you remember several years ago, I believe 3 years ago, I was up in Baraboo, Wisconsin, the home of Ringling Brothers. And I did a video up there. I'm sure everyone remembers that because that was riveting. Did a video up there of the Ringling Brothers family. Took a little tour of the Ringling Brothers Museum. And this is where another Ringling brother, or the son of a Ringling brother, is entombed. There's some more Ringlings down in Florida, which I have not seen yet, but I do plan on getting down there at some point in time. I can only imagine the cost of some of these monuments. Just amazing. And we have a mausoleum. Greenwald Perkins above the door. Very nice mausoleum. Peter O'Brien, large cross right there. And not too many obelisks in this cemetery, but here is one. Warneson is the name on that one. Beautiful monument here. Okay, guys, it is baseball season kicking off this April. So let's talk about one of the most famous sportscasters in Major League Baseball history. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Caray. That famous Harry Caray sound, who was an announcer for St. Louis Cardinals, the Chicago White Sox. Look at that. Just beautiful. And another team called the Chicago Cubs. So Harry Caray was born in St. Louis. At an early age, his mother passed away, unfortunately, and then his father went off to fight in World War I. So Harry Caray was basically raised by his aunt and uncle. He was a decent baseball player, so much so that he was offered position, another beautiful statue, at the University of Alabama. However, due to financial woes, he was not able to go and play ball. So then he attempted to enlist in World War II. However, due to his bad eyesight, he was not able to enlist. If you remember the large Coke bottle glasses that he always wore. So then, oddly enough, he got his start in radio in Joliet, Illinois, at a station there, and another one in Kalamazoo. But his big break came in 1945 when he was hired by the St. Louis Cardinals. He was there for many years, and in November 1968, he was nearly killed after being struck by an automobile after crossing the street in St. Louis. He did have a broken leg at the time, and here we have the grave of Harry Caray, or should I say, of Harry Caray, 1914 to 1998, forever devoted to the fans of baseball. And there's a Miller Lite bottle here, which I don't know why that's there. It's Budweiser, my friends. Harry Caray drank Budweiser. He didn't drink Miller Lite, so somebody got that wrong. So anyways, getting back to a little bit of history. Following the 1969 season, the Cardinals declined to renew his contract. He did spend one season with the Oakland A's in 1970, and then he finally accepted the job for the Chicago White Sox. And that's how I remember Harry Caray. Growing up in Chicago, I was a Sox fan, and remember listening to him and Jimmy Pearsall on the radio. And then, he went to the Chicago Cubs back, I believe it was 1981. He went to the Cubs, and that's where he gained most of his fame, as we've seen him portrayed by Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live. And his famous seventh inning stretches, seeing him take me out to the ball game. And I do remember one game where he was, there was a Chicago Air and Water show going on, and the Blue Angels were performing, and I remember him announcing the game, and all I remember is, here's the windup and the pit. There go the Blue Angels. I mean, he just, it was so funny. He's calling a pitch, and all of a sudden the Blue Angels fly over, and he was just completely distracted, and I don't even remember if he finished calling that pitch. But here's the grave of the wonderful Harry Caray. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for taking a walk with me today here at All Saints Catholic Cemetery, located in Des Plaines, Illinois. Huge cemetery. Man, there's a lot of wonderful monuments in here. And of course, we saw the Mausoleum of Ringling and the grave of Harry Caray. Yes, famous announcer. We'll all remember Harry. So thank you once again for taking the time to join me today. And as always, until next time, keep exploring.